Hello and welcome to our software tutorial series. This tutorial provides an explanation of entering education credits in the tax software. In this tutorial, you will learn how to enter the American Opportunity Credit and the Lifetime Learning Credit in the tax software. Both the American Opportunity Credit and the Lifetime Learning Credit are entered directly on Form 8863 in the software. From this form, the total allowable credit calculates to Form 1040 or Form 1040A. On Form 8863, both credits require entry of the student's name, Social Security number, and amount of qualified expenses. Both credits can be claimed on the same tax return but not for the same student. See instructions for Form 8863 or IRS Publication 970 for details on qualifying expenses, eligible students, and who can claim the credits. We will now enter information for the American Opportunity Credit in the tax software. Click on the Add Form Display Form List tab at the top of the active form. Type 8863 in the Look For entry box and press Enter. In Part 1, American Opportunity Credit, enter the student's first name, last name, their Social Security number, and the amount of qualified expenses. The amount entered for qualified expenses should not exceed $4,000, even if the student's actual qualified expenses were more. The software calculates the remaining fields and displays the tentative American Opportunity Credit on line 2. The tentative credit amount calculates to Form 8863, page 2, line 7. Part 3 is calculated by the software to determine the refundable American Opportunity Credit displayed on line 14. If the student was under age 24 at the end of the year and meets the conditions in Form 8863 instructions, then the student cannot take the refundable American Opportunity Credit. If this was the case, we'd mark the checkbox under line 13. If the student under age 24 does not meet the conditions in the instructions, then we'd leave this box unmarked, but press F3 to remove the red. The refundable American Opportunity Credit on Form 8863, line 14, carries forward to Form 1040, line 66, or 1040A, line 40. We will now enter information for the Lifetime Learning Credit in the tax software. On Form 8863, page 1, scroll to Part 2. We will now enter the student's first name, their last name, their Social Security number, and their qualified expenses. The software calculates lines 4 through 6 and displays the tentative Lifetime Learning Credit. Scrolling down on page 2, we can see the data is calculated by the software on Part 4 based on the form instructions. The total non-refundable education credits are calculated on line 23. By navigating to page 2 of Form 1040 and scrolling down to the payment section, we can see this amount is then calculated to line 49. Had this been Form 1040A, this amount would carry to line 31. You should now be able to enter the American Opportunity Credit and the Lifetime Learning Credit in the tax software. Thank you for viewing this tutorial.